Hello students, I am back after NEET UG 2024 counseling. 99.99% of the NEET UG admissions are over. Uh, there are some states which are still continuing with their last rounds of admissions, but then I think if you can take in the total number of seats which are still available or which may be available for further allotment, maybe around not more than 100. So practically 99.999% seats are already filled up. So first of all, my apologies that I could not connect with you for the last couple of months, and the reason was because I was completely tied up in this mess of NEET UG counseling as it happened this year. So in this video, first of all, I wanted to share with you that what were the key takeaways, what were the key observations of NEET UG 2024 counseling, and why I'm talking about those key takeaways is that if you are planning for your NEET 2025, you must be aware that how the landscape of admissions change over year to year, and how the historical evidences and the historical data analytics are only of limited use, and then how does it really impact your probability of admission in the coming years. So talking about the admissions landscape this year in 2024, something which we observed very different this year as compared to the previous years was simply a mad rush to seek admission. How and why I'm saying that is because if we historically take the evidence, then over a period of time that we have observed that BDS and BMS have never been so much in demand as they have been in 2024. In fact, we have never seen more than 66 to 70% occupancy in the private BDS and BMS colleges in India. But then this year, even in the private BDS colleges, there was no seat vacancy. So there was definitely a great rush for admission. I think this rush came in because of whatever happened with the NEET this year. People were scared. They developed a fear psychosis that probably the next year may be even worse off. So everybody was just rushing in for admissions, and that really changed a lot of landscape for admissions. But one thing that I would like to caution here is that if some of you who may have taken admission in BDS and BMS with the hope to reattempt NEET in 2025, please be cautious, because government, both central as well as state, are getting very strict on leaving the clinical programs, because effectively if you leave a program after 1 year or 2 years, then that seat goes waste for the entire course. So I'm not very sure that how many of you will have the opportunity to reattempt and replan your admission next year. So please be aware of your discontinuation clause which you may have filled up during the time of your admission. Second thing which happened was, because there was a mad rush for BDS and BMS, equally there was a mad rush for the MBBS seats as well. While MBBS admissions in government medical colleges always remain to be the linear one, wherein we know that merit is going to move in a very linear direction. In fact, in June 2024 itself, I have forecasted that the MCC last admissions for journal should happen at around 25,000 rank. Yes, for the last admission in the MCC 2024 for journal category was at 25,050. So the predictability of government admissions definitely remains same, but this year, because there was a huge shift in the demand and supply, so the demand for private medical admissions was much higher than the last year's, and that really changed the entire merit movement in the private and deemed medical colleges. The colleges where typically we would have expected the children to get admission with a low score, because there was a because there was a much greater demand this year. A lot of students with a higher merit, they also chose to take admission in the private and deemed medical colleges. That resulted into very high merit in some of the very good and popular private and deemed medical colleges such as Kasturba and Shri Ramchandra and GSS and JNMCs like that. So practically the merit, the students who had prepared their admission plan on the basis of the historical data, this year there was a shock for them. And that is the reason, if you go to my previous videos, you will see that I have mentioned in one of the videos that over reliance on the historical data can be both harmful as well as helpful. So how do you really look at the historical cutoffs? That's important for you to understand. And this was one observation which happened this year. Second thing that happened, very I would say disturbing for admissions, was that there was a lot of flip-flops at the government policy levels, both at the central level as well as at the state levels. While at the central level, the biggest mess happened because NMC, at their own peril, they kind of delayed the entire process of granting recognition to the colleges, and which resulted into a very unpleasant situation that they had to hold on for the second round of MCC counseling just to wait for the new approvals and new colleges to come in. So that was something which delayed the entire process of admissions. And then as expected, NMC very abruptly they gave in the 1st October as the starting timeline for the academic session, which obviously was not possible and feasible. So that happened at the central level. At the state level, again there was a lot of mess. As you may have been following, that Bihar had to scrap their entire first round, and then they had to reallot the seats for first round. So and that was because of the High Court decision that happened on some shift of the caste from a category of scheduled caste to OBCs. Similarly, there was a delay in Telangana because we saw that the case went into Supreme Court for decision about the domicile eligibility criteria. Likewise, there was many policy flip-flops at Punjab as well as at Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand was seriously a case study of its own. They very blatantly flouted all the norms of the game, and to everybody's surprised, they launched the NRI quota in the 4th round of admission counseling, which is absolutely unfair, which is absolutely done with the malafide intentions. Why I'm saying that is because when the prospectus has been released, you can't change the prospectus midway. You can't change the policies and the rules and regulation which are defined in the information bulletin of the counseling prospectus. But they did it. They did it with the complete arrogance, I would say, and that really resulted into some very unpleasant and very unexpected outcomes for many students who deserved better seats in Uttarakhand private colleges. So this is how the policy flip-flops, and these policy flip-flops, unless and until you seek a legal recourse, there's not much that you can do. So you must be aware that these are the things that you have to learn to live with it. Third thing which happened this year is that, as like every year, thousands of students chose to give away their money to the counseling agencies. In fact, of course, thousands of students, they allowed the forfeiture of their security deposits of up to 2 lakh rupees. But the best thing that was that there was a student in this year whom we were observing that she wasted 8 lakhs of her parents' money on forfeiture of the securities. So I think this was maybe an outcome of poor knowledge, poor planning, and obviously poor guidance, because effectively medical admissions are not about just applying and registering for as many counseling as you can do. There are a lot of planning, that lot of strategy that has to go into deciding your admission strategy. So that's about the learnings from the this year's 2024 NEET UG admissions. I know that many of you who are watching this video may be actually going in for the NEET 2025, and you may have had a concern that, sir, what happened with the NEET controversy? Was there a really unfair mean that happened in the NEET 2024? I think one thing that you must always factor in is that the rules of the games, whatever best you can think of, there will always be some leakage. So point is, you can't really prevent the leakage. As I have done a podcast on 29th of June, which you can see, wherein I have explained everything about the ongoing NEET 2024 controversy, and there I have mentioned that it is practically impossible to have a leak-proof examination in any setup. So that's bound to happen, and particularly when the stakes are so high, demand is so high, and there are so many of aspirants, those things are bound to happen. But then point is, are we able to catch those people who are doing the wrong things, and are we able to isolate them from the merit list? And that's, I think, government has been able to do that. So you should not be too overly worried about 2025. I don't think that you should be thinking about falling in trap of some people who may approach you with the golden deer of offering you the NEET paper before the exam. I don't think that you should be falling in trap of any such promises or any such incentive that they may offer. These are all crooks. They are all going to cheat you of money and your peace of mind. So I don't think that you should be overly worried about that. As regards to the lot of media news about change in the exam style, exam pattern, and things like that, I don't think that in 2025 government is going to go for the CBT. They are not going to follow the JEE routine, because if they would have had to do that, probably by July or August itself, it must have been mandatory for them to notify that thing. I don't think that the government can be so insensitive that in January they will declare that this year the test is not going to be through pen and paper and it's going to be through computer. I don't think so. So don't feel really that hassled about whether it's going to be a pen and paper and a computer based test. Likewise, there are news about happening in 2 shifts and things like that. I don't think that there's going to be any change in the paper pattern of 2025. But yes, one thing that I can always assure you of is that there will be a dramatic shift. There should be a dramatic shift in the exam questions, because as you see that this year the merit went off very high. Practically there were more than 25,000 students who scored more than 655 scores. So that really clustered the merit towards the higher end of the curve, which was very undesired. Was it unexpected? No, it was not unexpected, because that happens with every competitive exam that you see. After a period of time, the aspirants do perform better, and definitely the merit shifts. And then the pattern of the examination has to change, and then the merit comes back to the earlier levels. So I think in 2025, the government must change the question patterns, and that should result into a merit for 25,000 ranks falling to somewhere around 600 kind of range, because that would be the ideal statistical range to really test the knowledge and skills of the student. So I think to sum up what we are talking about 2024 and how the learnings are going to go into 2025, for sure the NEET 2025 is going to be pen and paper. I believe it is going to be the same one shift paper, and as I mentioned to you, the question patterns may be changing. Admission, of course, the medical admission counseling will remain to be the benchmark for all the admissions for medical courses in the next year as well. But I strongly suggest that when you are preparing for NEET, you should also understand about the admission process as well. So if you are looking for admissions in 2025, please subscribe to this channel. You will get a lot of new updates and a lot of useful information about medical admissions, because we specialize in the NEET admissions only. We are NEET Navigator, and we only offer advice for NEET UG and NEET PG and NEET SS admissions. So effectively, we are the most specialized people in the country about that. And as you can see from our previous videos, that we never believe in giving any scoop or any false news just to generate views. We believe in giving you very logical and very authentic information about admissions and things like that. So if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, if you think that this analysis is going to help some of your friends and family, please do share this video with them. Wish you all the best and stay tuned.